Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ultimate Argument Campaign for the SU-27 and DCS World, where we're now on Mission 12, Scramble. Now finally my wish was granted, got a bit of a challenging mission. This actually took me a few tries to avoid getting shot down near the end. The briefing is rather straightforward. The UAV from the previous mission was scouting the airfield for a future attack, and that attack is coming here at dawn. So we are being scrambled to intercept a rather large force of enemy fighters on the way to blow up our neighbouring airfield. Along with our flight of two, another flight of two have just been scrambled, so we've got 4 SU-27s in the air, so let's see how we do. So here we are just approaching the target, and as we're getting close, we start to get callouts from AWACS that there are multiple contacts off our nose. See them just appearing on data link. Do get radar contact there right at the top of the HUD display. But again, the other flight is just a little bit ahead of me, so I'm assuming they're going to be targeting the nearer contacts. So I try and get a lock on some of the rearward ones. Problem is that as soon as I started to lock, the enemy started to jam, and we're quite at a range here, so I'm not able to burn through their jammer. But they are getting close to the airfield, so I am on full burner here, trying to catch up with them, or intercept them before they can get their missiles off. I'm occasionally flipping to electro-optical mode here just to see if I can get an EO signal, because they can't jam that. I temporarily see an EO signal, but I lose it beforehand. Can see some of the enemy contacts are beginning to maneuver now. Do get a decent contact there for a second, but again I lose it for much. This is really max range here I'm trying to lock onto these things with. Try and get eyes on my allied flight, they're just below me there. Now I do have a bit more of a stable EO lock here. Selected the 27 ETs, the long range infrared missiles. You can see missiles firing off in the air there. Do lose the EO lock when I establish them within range, so I do fire one off. So this is a Fox 2, but kind of with the range of a Fox 3, really does travel a long distance. You can already see enemy splashes starting to go down. Lock something else up on radar, switch over to ER missiles and fire one of those, so that's a Fox 1 away. You can see there are more splashes going on. This initial wave is just being torn apart by a mix of the other flight and the ground defences there. But we still have another flight of 4 coming in here. See some fire on the airfield, but cleaned up fairly well there. We've got a mix of 2 planes beaming to us, 2 planes heading hot towards us. Again, I go over to electro-optical here. Armor ET. For some reason I'm not getting the launch authorization, and I have not rebanned the launch authorization key since moving PCs, so I do have a little bit of an issue there. I do fire Fox 1 instead. Allies have also fired at this point. Can see 1 plane already going down there. Do get the call out that we are now merged, but that's fine. I'm maintaining the EO and radar lock here. Fire off a second missile. This is a 73. Really bad angle for it though, so even though these are pretty good missiles, it doesn't manage to track. See the other traces of my allied flight going in. I end up nicely on this guy's tail, no problem at all for a 73 launch, and I get an F5 splash. Still enemies in the area, so I immediately turn evasive. This is normally where I got shot down before. Do you see a splash going down? One of our allies does get hit. That is the other ally. He is quite happily intact. Trying to get eyes on any other contact that I can. And one just passes right under me. Quite lucky he didn't manage to get anything off there, to be honest. You can see it's an F5, so I turn in. But by the time I get my nose around, he is already downed. So yeah, that was all of them down. Once I'm happy that they've all been shot down, I do send in the message. And we are simply ordered back to base. Very frantic few minutes there. Really quick mission, but quite an active mission just for how long it was. Just literally take off, fight 8 enemy planes, and then RTB. In terms of how we did that, facing off against 4 F4s and 4 F5s with our total force ship of SU-27s, well, I got 1 of the F5s. My wingman did make it to the fight just in time to get that last F5 kill right at the end. All of the rest were by our allied flight, so they did get the mother share of the kills there. They did arrive a little bit first, got their missiles off a little bit earlier. In terms of our losses, our only losses was in the air was an SU-27, and the enemy did strike 1 SA-15 site on the ground. But other than that, pretty decent victory, and pretty fun all around. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that one. Glad the campaign is actually starting to put some challenge back into it, and hope this keeps up going forward. If you enjoyed, please do consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all really does help. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers!